We start, though, with the COVID-19 situation in South Korea. There's roughly 1 week to go before current social distancing measures are set to expire.
We still have yet to wait and see what major changes are ahead, but our reporter Shin Ye-eun is here to give us a glimpse of some of what is being discussed by authorities. Hello to you, Ye-eun.
Good morning.
Well, let's start off with the expected tally of the additional infections as of Friday.
Sure, Soo-young. So we're expecting to see today's caseload slightly above 200,000 because up to 9 p.m. on Thursday, there were 199,836 COVID-19 infections reported. And for the first time in 6 weeks, we've seen the tally reported for this time period fall below 200,000. While we're seeing an overall drop in COVID-19 figures, the number of infections traced back to children aged under 10 is still posing great concern. Roughly half of Korea's new infections have come from this age group. This is mainly because most children aged 9 or below have not been vaccinated. Authorities have just recently given the green light to administering COVID shots to children aged 5 to 11 that are obese, diabetic, or have weak immunity. But so far, only 0.7% of those eligible have gotten their first shots.
Right, Ye-eun, in South Korea, if someone is infected with COVID-19, they must self-isolate for a period of 7 days. Now, there is some talk about potentially shortening that period. What do we know about that?
Well, Mark, we still don't know the exact number of days authorities have in mind, but what we do know is that South Korea does look to other countries when considering antivirus measures. Over in the U.S. and U.K., the self-quarantine periods have been shortened to 5 days. It's not the first time South Korea has considered reducing the self-isolation period for the infected. If you recall, last December, when we first identified the Omicron strain, people infected were asked to self-isolate for 14 days. After authorities had more data on Omicron, they shortened this period to 10 days for the unvaccinated and 7 days for the fully vaccinated. From February this year, everyone, regardless of their vaccination status, were asked to quarantine for 7 days only.
Scientific data and real-life cases show that most people infected with COVID-19 don't pass the virus on to other people after a week has passed. So there was no reason to keep longer quarantine periods.
While authorities have yet to make a breakthrough in terms of the number of days it takes for a virus to become dormant, they are leaning towards shorter quarantine periods as a way to accelerate a return to normal life.
And while handling this pandemic as an endemic disease now, that's going to be a very challenging task for the next administration, which takes office in May. And well, the transition committee, they're already discussing new measures to really handle this virus and phase it out, really. So what's on their agenda right now?
Well, the Presidential Transition Committee is open to learning about any new side effects vaccinated people have experienced. Currently, South Korea has only compensated people with side effects acknowledged by the WHO, EMA, or FDA, but the new administration is set to acknowledge more side effects based on scientific evidence and compensate those who report them. In particular, they're thinking of giving financial aid to those who go to the hospital for treatment for any vaccine side effect. They're also considering compensation for families who have had loved ones die for unknown reasons within 30 days of vaccination. They're also thinking of bringing in more alternative methods of treatment for those who cannot or do not want to be vaccinated, but also wish to be protected against COVID-19. An Chul-soo, chairman of the COVID-19 Emergency Response Committee, said authorities will release new COVID-19 response guidelines to tackle key issues within the first 100 days of the new Yoon administration.
Thanks very much for your report today, Ye-eun.
Thank you so much.